We're tWoTcast episode 335. What are the chances I was actually going to see that text? You idiot.
Pretty good.
Hello.
Okay. All right, everyone, shut the fuck up.
Wheel of Time. Reread podcast. Explicit and R freaking rated. John is the wild card, always talking shit. Joe's the straight man. He's a total dick. Tom calls in if he's not too busy. We are tWoTcast!
Hey,
I swear to God. You're viewing tWoTcast, the Wheel of Time Reread podcast. Now covering Joe telling me it's my intro with 15 seconds to go before the countdown song ended. And then with Jono saying he's going to go to the bathroom when the song starts. It lasts for 20 fucking seconds. We're now covering
perfect professionalism.
Now covering not being good at this for 335 straight episodes. And also the Wheel of Time companion. With me is Jono.
Jono!
There's no way you wash your hands after you peed. Joe?
Hey, Tom. Hey, Jono. Maybe he didn't use his hands and he just shook it.
Wow.
Those are
just use the piss trough to call a shower.
both very math-related issues that you guys had right to start the show.
Yeah, enjoy studying that. Yeah. Now I got piss beard. That's what they call me.
Tom, also, I mean, I know I did just tell you it was your intro, but like, it's not a surprise anymore. It's your intro every third episode.
Oh, it's a surprise when I'm just sitting here not ready for it.
We've been doing this a while. I mean, I feel like it's pretty obvious.
I just tend to be. Well, it doesn't matter. I don't need the script anyway. Because fuck it. You know what? I only need to know the number of the episode. Otherwise, you just say re a lot and three people's names and
It's easy enough.
Yeah, you've pretty much done it. Is it guest time or not guest time?
Is it?
This is the problem with other people doing the introduction because me and Jono can't see if the guest has arrived.
Oh yeah, she's here. We can bring her out.
Yeah, I mean that's what the thing says.
I didn't know if that's what you were asking. Anyway, yeah.
Let's have Jess.
Hey, Jess is here from Tar Valon After Dark. Woo!
I can't believe you cut off. Well, I can't. It's actually good you cut it off. Let's go ahead and do the profanity warning before we do the spoiler warning.
Hi.
So profanity warning. Anyway, that shirt said Tom fucks. I love it.
I'm actually wearing it here as well.
No, it says "Huh."
Nice. Yeah, spoilers because we're doing the Wheel of Time companion, but also it basically spoils the whole series. But also we say fuck a lot, and so does Jess's shirt.
Yeah.
And so does Jess.
Oh,
yeah.
That's disappointing. I thought you were going to be the clean kind of counterbalance to this show.
You've met me, so I have literally no reason why. I don't know why you would think that.
Whenever we have somebody that's not us on the show in the same way, it's they just sit there awkwardly and just blown away. Like, I can't believe this is happening. So
J's for Jono says horrible things. I like that.
I mean, she is on a podcast called Tar Valon After Dark.
Yeah,
and not only
all
that,
say
but Nablus has this thing now where he keeps writing these bits for me, erotica Sedai. It makes me talk in like a phone sex line voice, and I'm like, bro.
Feels like an HR violation.
I don't know. I mean, I feel
what do you mean? What is it? What is making you?
Yeah.
What is that?
That's an HR violation. Yeah.
Just a small whip.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could you give us a little like a prelude to what the voice sounds like? Red in the cheeks.
Johnny, you can't make her do it.
Think. I don't even remember how they start.
Erotica Sedai is awesome sauce, says Beth. Your good friend Beth Weston. Subsequently,
come to Erotica Sedai's pleasure palace.
Unrelated, best
really
watchionary guest ever.
Yeah, you spoke over Erotica Sedai.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Erotica.
Yeah, thanks.
Wait, read this card, Jess. Read this card, Jess.
Today's episode of tWoTcast is brought to you by something that I didn't see because you took it down too fast. is brought to you by the letter J.
The letter J.
Nice.
Thank you.
I didn't take it. It just goes away.
Joe can't keep it
Time that well. Yeah. Hey, guys.
Fortuitous Jess is here with her name. Also starts with J.
Yeah,
Starts with J.
That's planned.
Yeah, did you guys realize we've done that for every one of these by accident? It just lined up.
Yeah, I know. It's weird. It's
called random chance, and it happens sometimes.
We have to keep doing it now.
Joe from Talk Ranrad was like, I'm going to be on the show tonight. And I was like, no, your name doesn't start with J, dummy.
It's my favorite dumb joke. That's tWoTcast this week.
All right, we're all done.
Yeah.
We're done.
Thanks, Jess.
Jess, do you want to tell everybody about your podcast before we dive into things?
Yeah,
give us an update on Brian.
Podcast and not Tar Valon After Dark, I'd be kind of surprised. But all right.
Okay, so I host a podcast called Tar Valon After Dark. It's part news, part sketch comedy, part just discussion and general bullshit, and we have a lot of fun. I host it with Nameless and with Rakappa Sadai / Brian, who actually is out of commission right now because he had a fall down some stairs and sustained some pretty serious damage to his brain helmet, and so he is currently making good progress, but he has been in a medically induced coma for over a week now, but they're slowly weaning him off of sedation. So apparently he's hitting all of the targets that they want him to hit, and the community has come together and we've raised over $35,000 in the GoFundMe to help him with his medical bills and recovery, which is amazing. And you people are insane.
Mm-hmm.
And I also have a YouTube channel called The Amerlin Study where I do reaction videos. And so it's basically just a lot of me yelling at the screen and making a lot of faces.
Just a quick question for you. You said you do a podcast. Yes. Is it about the Wheel of Time?
It is about the Wheel of Time, believe it or not.
Okay, because you didn't say that.
I know that's sort of like out of my wheelhouse, but yeah, it's kind of fun. So
that would be a little strange if it wasn't, Jono.
Jess, you're one of the few people from the Wheel of Time side of life that I follow in my personal account, so I always know when something's happening in the Wheel of Time because I just see a tweet from you like reaction videos coming. And then I know I have to go. I just know it's time to go check the news. I just screamed at a screen
in a room by myself. Something important is happening.
We should do a reaction video of Tom seeing a reaction video.
Is the GoFundMe for Rakappa still going?
It is still going, yes.
Okay.
The link is actually down in the description if you guys want to go down. It's under guest links, but it's there as Rakappa Sadai, / Brian. GoFundMe.
There you go. We got it.
I was going to do a shortened link, but then, I had to do this and make myself look pleasant, and I ran out of time. So.
That's why.
Because this takes time, So
we understand. This is actually what I look like normally. It's just that.
You're just a black and white photo of Daniel. What's his name from Home Alone? Yeah.
This is just what I look like when I don't shave my hair.
That checks out. Looking good.
Yeah.
Jess, are you up to date on what we do on these episodes?
I am given to understand that you are going through the companion alphabetically, and today is J, and we're going to talk about J things, but that's as far as I've gotten.
Okay.
It's pretty close. It's pretty good.
So if there's any other shenanigans involved, I'm aware of them.
Why did we start Joe?
Yeah, there's echoes
Jono?
all over the place.
There's an echo. Yeah. What have you done? Oh, and the echo.
I did nothing. I did change nothing. Is it gone?
No. But we could all pretend we're at the Grand Canyon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll find some headphones.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank God Joe's gone. Assuming that stops the echo.
So just everybody comes in. Everybody comes into these
that
episodes
guy, am I right?
with the same understanding that you do, and then we kind of explain that we mostly look for absurd things and gross things and stuff that just wasn't in the books in general.
Yeah.
So you would think that we might look for something interesting to have an in-depth conversation about it, but we don't do that at all. Well, we do it once in a while, but just like when you see some of these entries come up, some of them will just be like one word, like I thought this was funny, and then some will just be ridiculous. We just want you to be prepared.
Yeah, just like in The Lion King. I on that note, I really appreciate the fact that we don't tell our guests what they're going to be covering too regularly, and it makes it better for you because this way you can be very disturbed by the uselessness of the show in general. One of the things that we'd like to, when we had Harriet on a couple weeks ago, we wanted to show off the fact that there's weird shit in this book that's not just like weird shit, but things for after the series ends proper. So there's a reason to pick it up, you fucking nerds, and read the whole damn thing.
You know, I haven't read it cover to cover, but I kind of feel like that's something I would do.
Yeah.
When you said, Jono,
if you forget to click the thing in the link, I did make a shortened link. It's amerlin.study/recappa. That will take you to his GoFundMe as well.
Yeah, let's get a bunch of let's do a mini charity drive and get a bunch of donations tonight.
Mini Ave?
Hey, Jess, send me that in Discord real quick, and then I'll copy it as a banner. The shortened link.
So that's kind of it. Before we get we're about to get started, Jono, when you mentioned as an example of how we do this, we had Harriet on. I thought you were going to say that you tried to gross the guest out so much that they leave the show within the span of 10 minutes.
Yeah, Harriet lasted 30 minutes.
I don't think that's true.
15 minutes.
Which is basically 30. I mean,
she gracefully exited relatively quickly when you started making a lot of allusions to inappropriate things.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, look at Dana saying to like the podcast. That's so nice.
Y'all have your snazzy graphics. Look at you.
We've got snazzy graphics.
I think you subscribe to the podcast, and
somehow I'm not.
Man,
I don't know how it works.
So you hit like and you subscribe to the YouTube channel or whatever.
All right, so letter J, we have a theme song. Let's hear it.
Oh, okay.
Here's Joe.
Rocking in the sky, but if it's injured, it won't fly. Take a look, it's in the book. I feel a time coming. Friends can go anywhere, but he has to know the embarkation to go and open a portal. Mad jokes about anything. Martin Daly's cards on page 95. The Wheel of Time companion. Because we'll read them. Melodies on to the Patreon.
That was incredible.
I used to laugh about the fact that we've recorded this show for literally almost a dozen fucking years, which is the dumbest thing I've said. And yet we've always been the most primitive podcast. I literally, this is a stack of books with a laptop. I've got nothing.
Yeah.
That is why I look like
You
shit.
can't even tilt your screen down so we can see you properly.
How dare you? It's a stack of books.
Yet to manage it. Look, I'm doing it now just so I
Tom,
that's how you do it. Good job, Tom.
Yeah. But
you said never change it, so I don't understand.
as close as it'll get. But
it's very self-conscious about his boobs.
yeah. I gotta say that more. It's not working right now. The damn thing's too high. But now with the work of Taffy Bennington, we've firmly made it somewhere into at least 2013, and I appreciate that.
I'm proud of you guys.
Right.
Not Taffy's fault.
Are we ready for entry?
She elevates us.
We've been bullshitting a lot.
All right, today's episode is brought to you by the letter J.
I feel like we already had that read much sexier, Joe.
It was definitely done sexier. That's for damn sure.
Twice.
You're
All right,
welcome.
Jess, I don't have your,
Hey, you can't say that one enough.
for those that have their book in front of them, I'm just going to go ahead and get this out of the way because if you're bullied, it's better to just accept it than ignore it. You'll just get bullied more. Page 344, I thought I got bullied when they described James. Gray hair, stringy, gnarled, wiry, lean, bony, and tough as old roots. I don't know if we... I don't know that many descriptions are necessary.
James' father was Bony Bob.
Stringy is a really interesting descriptor of a person. Hi, Beth. I love you.
Those are comments.
Yeah, that is. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a lot of descriptions, all of which are very, very positive. And I'm sure he.
Tom, your gray hair isn't thinning though. You know, you just
yeah,
shave
that's
it.
true. Yeah, still got a lot of hair.
Assuming it grows
Looks
back.
like you'd have a fine head of hair.
Yeah, I am going to grow it back. That's the plan. I'm going to go from this to this.
Oh wait, are you going to do that? I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I think
start
it might
now,
take.
so I'm already ahead.
I think it might take 3 weeks.
Jesus.
It's fast.
That's very impressive.
Jono, give us like 3 or 4 entries so I can get a new drink and use the bathroom.
All right. Well, this is a real one. Jahar Narishma on page 245. And Jess, I don't know if you have your book in front of you.
I do.
345.
Yeah. Jahar Narishma being, of course, I usually just think of his last name. Narishma as being, one of the kind of standout, Ashaman in the series. And yet at the same time, like when I'm looking back at reading about him, I almost feel like I wanted way more of this dude because he sounded so awesome. Like he was just like, he was the one Rand chose to go get Kalendor. I think he was supposed to be the one who comes after her or something like that from a prophecy. And it really kind of just takes like a bitch back seat soon enough. And like, I have no problem with him being, bonded by an Aes Sedai, but the Aes Sedai like won't give the accolade from Rand to him unless it's taken directly for him, and just kind of like, what happened to this dude? Didn't seem to really fulfill the expectation.
He attached himself to an Aes Sedai, and she wears the pants, Jono.
You sexist piece of shit. Jess, give us another reason why you ruin men.
I'm sorry, what? I was reading about Narishma. I'm sorry. I was trying to figure out a way to sort of contribute to the conversation because I just finished Lord of Chaos and I've only seen a little bit of Narishma at this point. So,
and this is your first read?
This is a read through, but it's my second read, but it's been a while. So
great song. I appreciate that.
Narishma. He's got bells.
So yeah. Narishma.
Good enough. All right.
Yeah, I got nothing about Narishma.
That's all right. I can, as Joe can attest.
That's a very fair assessment, by the way.
I will speak enough for the two of us. Well, let's move one down.
Please tell me what I think about Narishma.
Oh, Jacob Carradine?
Jacob Carradine, the one and only, the best or worst White Cloak in the entire series.
Is it best or worst?
It's an interesting question. He's got he's kind of amazing in his own awful way. He's never really successful fully, but he's also moderately successful in books like 2 through 5.
Isn't
really,
he the one who drank all the time?
Yeah, he definitely gets a little
else.
bit. It's him.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, Tom, we can barely hear you.
Yeah, and yes, Jess, he is.
Okay, so I mean, honestly, maybe you would have been better at your job if you weren't drunk all the time, bro. I'm just saying.
Well, that's
you can get help.
You're outvoted 3-1 here. I'll tell you that on this podcast.
Yeah, all we do is drink.
Since you just finished book 6, you probably enjoyed the fact that his entire family is just slowly carted off by Myrddraal at wedding and all that. And that's like my favorite, just dumb thing that's happening behind the scenes. And you've got to wonder what family events are like thereafter.
Johnny, you said his name.
I mean, honestly,
Joaquin
like
Carradine?
what family events?
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah. Is it Joaquin?
It's Joaquin.
Oh.
No,
it's
it's
not.
got an M at the end, not an N.
I wonder how many family members he has left at the end of the book, Why Shizzle asks.
Great question.
It is a great question. I don't know.
Well,
Not
and
that
have they
many,
figured out that he's the reason that they all keep getting killed?
I would imagine.
Also, is
Because
he
at
coming?
that
They at
point,
least
they're
have an
like, we don't
idea.
even fucking like him. He's the creepy uncle. Nobody likes him.
How long do you think it would take? Would
Kill
it
us
be, would it be
over
like the
him.
last three of them in a room and they're all like, which one of us is it? Who's
I also
wrong
like
with
the
this?
idea that he actually hates his family. That's the whole reason he was so bad at this. And he's like, "You're gonna take like my cousins? Well, there's a large family."
He totally threw all of his family under the bus. I'm pretty sure. I do remember like there not being any left. I'm pretty sure they're all dead.
You think it stopped after he was killed?
And
Like
he's like, YOLO.
all the Dark Friend orders seem to be like a terribly, terribly managed game of telephone. Anyway, like there's no
That's
way.
part of his
Bad
issue.
orders.
That's part of his issue is that he like, is getting conflicting orders from like a couple different
Mm.
Forsaken. Like he's being like, you know, like you do this or that. So he doesn't know what to do. So I mean, yeah, his family's still being butchered long after he's gone. Like oh, forgot to turn that off. Whoops.
Or they say it, but it's not.
Damn it, we
it's
forgot
not
to
nearly
turn off the
fast
Google
enough.
Calendar reminder, and now we just keep killing
Yeah.
his family.
I don't even know how to turn off a recurring event.
Calendar alert.
It's just one Myrdral that can't turn off a recurring alert.
Kill one of Jackham Carradin's family members. That was supposed to be. That's, I've been done with that for years.
Yeah, this dude hates the person who like sent that calendar invite and blocked them. And so he never got the email that said, okay, dude's dead, so we don't have to kill any more of his family. So he just like kept.
Can you propose a different day? Saturday's my fun day.
Okay, that was an interesting question. What do you think he would have done with Elaine if she believed his message about Morghese being alive? And
Ooh,
then she
Nothing
said,
good.
remember he gave her notice that her mom was in Amador when they were in After Dark together. Interesting.
honestly, I think that was an original order from Pedro Nile, not from the Dark, like not from whomever. It's possible he may have taken her back to Nile. Well, at this point, wait, was Nile already dead at that point though? Yeah, he had to have been.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Alive or
well,
not, she wouldn't have gone.
Well, yeah, probably just raped her though. In fairness, that's pretty much what he seemed like he was into. He's a drug piece of shit.
I mean,
evil
that's
man.
what all the evil
Yeah.
characters do in this book. It's one of the dark. It's one of the Dark One's threefold plan.
Well, all right.
What
Then
are the other?
if we're gonna say
Weather or
that,
headaches. Everyone knows that.
go ahead and go to page 352 for Jarrett Byer. It's
Real quick.
specifically says he will not rape you.
Yeah, Jared Fire, better person. Real quick, we should mention Joaquin Carradin's death being a horrible way to go. If you're a big drunk, Jess, if you remember, he
Or the only way to go.
yeah, I get they
Yeah, it might
strap
be the
him
best
down
way to go, Jono.
and just funnel raw brandy that's unaged into his mouth until he chokes on it and dies.
He
I
threw it up a
mean-
couple times too. They kept going.
Yeah.
Well, he has a high tolerance.
Honestly, I feel like if it were like the good liquor, that
It's
might
not.
be, if you have to go, that's how you go. But no.
Do you think they let him like work,
Raw
like
unaged
just sit
brandy.
there and enjoy like a fire and some drinks first before just pouring a barrel down his throat?
Yeah, have a moment, maybe savor
just
it.
let me have a few drinks. Get a buzz. Just
Yeah.
Let me get a buzz on because
Then you can murder me with alcohol.
His
You
last
murder me
words
with-
were, "I like it on the rocks." Bullshit.
If you murder me with a funnel of alcohol and it's my first drink of the night, that's going to be miserable. But if it's like 2 a.m. and I've been drinking since like 3 p.m. and you give me like just
you might not
tiny
even
alcohol,
notice.
I might not even notice.
That's true. Yeah.
Might be all right. All right, getting back to
Apparently,
Byer
your
real quick.
yard went from light to dark very quickly, Tom. Says all his ears.
That's called the setting sun.
Tell us more about it.
Here he
We're
is.
on page 352.
Yeah, still on Byer real quick.
Yeah.
Other than his hard line against not raping people, he was compulsed by Grendel? For
Yeah, he
how
was
long
compulsed.
and when? I don't think I recall that at all.
Book 14. Yeah.
I really wish they had wrote compulsed instead of compelled.
Now, I'm always going to say compulsed.
He attempted to kill Perrin, but was killed by Dane. Not surprising.
Yeah, he
given
had
that
this
he-
weird hard on for Perrin.
Who wouldn't?
But he
That
did
makes
well
sense.
I mean,
before.
That's
that's
true.
fair.
Perrin's
That's a
very
fair
attractive.
question.
well before the compulsion, though. I think
don't know, when did the
Grendel
compulsion
used compulsion on him, and he just was like, "You didn't need to do this."
Yeah, I'm already crazy. I'm a psycho. I don't know if you knew that, but I know rape. Solid pass on that one.
But that to me was new information. I don't think I knew about that.
It's in there, but it's not. I remember because like it's a very bizarre death, and he's actually killed by Dane Bonehold, considering their lovely friendship beforehand.
I thought it felt in character for him.
And that's the mark of a good character. I didn't have to be compelled.
Well, and it's like he's sort of the less nice. I don't know. I don't necessarily want to say evil, but I guess the bad guy version of Galad, following orders no matter what they were. Like
I like it. I like it. Yeah.
No, that makes sense. Yeah.
And
the bad guy version.
Yeah, the bad guy version.
Yeah, the bad guy.
Galad wouldn't kill women and children.
He's like lawful evil, I guess.
Just following orders, unless it's to rape someone. It's a hard pass.
I'll do it. I like that. That's the separation between him and Valden, though. Like that's
Lucas Jedi said, I don't think it's ever overtly stated in the books, and I agree. I remember there sort of being like an ambiguous like thing there, but I don't think it's very clear that he was.
All right, I thought it was crazy.
You are, but so much of the last book, I think I've only read it like 3 times. I love the only in front of reading the book 3 times.
I've read that giant book 3 times.
Yeah. So a lot of it's like, the first time I read it in one day. The second time, I think I reread it drunk for the
show.
Yeah.
So the first day you read it, you weren't drunk?
No, I read the whole thing. I think we were texting each other. I read it all in one just go round.
That's insane, by the way. You're a crazy person.
This is a very fat book with very small letters in it, my dude.
Yeah.
That is impressive.
I stayed sober.
We were very excited for this book to come out.
Yeah, I mean, I read it.
But even I read it over like 3 days.
Yeah, I did in 2, but I had a job that I had to get.
Yeah.
Fucking jobs, man.
Jono's just living on the street in a cardboard box. I've got to finish.
Stop making fun of me. Let's go to page 344 and 346.
No, wait. Real quick before you do. Well, 346, Jane Farstrider? Because I just want to stay on theme real quick. Also compulsed by Grendel. Was that in the book?
That one, I forget. Yes, it is, because he's there. We saw him just...
he's in, like, her...
palace.
Menagerie of servants, naked servants,
okay.
I think.
Yeah.
Was he the dirty old beggar? Dark friend in Ebu Dar? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
I don't know if I ever put that together.
There were so many theories about it,
I
only read the theories probably about like a 6-week period where I was pretty bored between girlfriends, which is all the way my entire life. Like there was so much like fascinating shit out there, and like people had nailed that one long before I ever would put it together.
Ebony, I prefer if you don't write it was in the books when I say something that I didn't think was in the books, because then it makes me feel stupid.
Well, that's the whole point of the show. I
like it much better from like, was that in the books? And then someone's like, that was never clearly stated. And I'm like, thank you. And if I say something else and somebody's just like, yeah, that was in the books. I'm like,
yeah, it was in the books, idiot. Everyone knows that.
I feel ashamed.
That's okay.
Ebony said it was in the books.
Oh, so you're going to put it on the screen?
2/3 of an ellipses.
I want to go back to Robert Jordan's childhood or something.
Can we not acknowledge?
See?
We not acknowledge that Joe just said 2/3 of an ellipses.
Our unnecessary.
I clocked it and I appreciate it.
I mean,
and I was going to say she doesn't even care enough to give you a whole ellipses. But then
oh man!
So I didn't.
Me and Jess are on the same page.
Someone named James or JM did something very wrong to Robert Jordan. Or maybe
there's a lot. There's a lot going on there. Jane, Gyre.
Well, don't ignore the Jack.
Yeah.
No, there is a lot of Jacks. Yeah.
So Jess, go to page 344. The bottom left will have actually 4 James, Jaem, because
there's even more James.
James has 2.
Oh, yeah,
and more Janes.
And then if you go to 346, there are literally half dozen James in a row. Yeah. So
Which
either this was a
Do you think it's short for Jamie and he like dated someone named Jamie or something and he just like hated her? I was just like, I'm just gonna name this after my ex who I despise. They're all gonna get compulsed.
Jamie?
Could I quickly point out that his name was Jim?
James. James. There you go. That's it.
I like how
might-
long it's reading it.
that's valid. Dang.
So he wrote himself into the book?
A legendary traveler. Sure.
A minor nobleman, an old soldier, captain of a boat, a boy. Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, what if they're all aspects of his hobbies and personality?
Yeah.
A farmer, another boy, and then
Yeah,
a
none
young
of these
He
are
was
like
once a
number-
boy, I think.
That's good.
and also a young man.
Yeah.
There's a very detailed list of people that John has had sex with.
Yeah. James.
Robert Jordan's one of those rare human beings that was actually birthed fully grown.
Out of
Well,
his
He was
Uncle
never a
Jack.
young man or a boy.
Tom, what do you got? Or do you want me to go with my my next one?
I mean, I got a very quick one if you want to.
Is it
Yeah, give
sex?
us a quick one, Tom.
Let's go to page 353.
All right.
Look at Jar. It's a mercenary who joined Perrin's army along with Tern. Jar had a horse, but they ate him. That's it. That's the entry.
Jar
Okay,
had
so did
had
they
a
eat
horse,
the horse, or did the horse eat him?
but they ate
See,
him.
that's what I
Because
can't
they
tell.
could be literally anyone.
It's a lot of questions here. Yeah.
More questions than answers at this point.
Oh, speaking of
Do you-
horseplay,
Does anyone remember these characters?
Jar?
It must
Or
have
the
been
horse.
somebody that met on the side
Could
of the
it-
road that joined.
Was it
Perrin's
during
army.
the horrible like winter year? And they
Oh,
did
I
that
don't-
one
yeah.
lasted for a decade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
It
one.
was the endless build up to the battle against the Shido on this Soon.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought it was funny.
I've got
Yeah,
He
that's really
said,
funny.
Overseer said a horse with no name, but I think he meant whores. He said it wrong.
Well, you read it wrong. He wrote it correctly.
Yeah, it's a good.
Was he in the desert? Again, I think it was.
We're gonna have a lot of music
I
lyric
think it was
puns
during the
now.
winter.
It felt good to be out from the rain.
Oh,
I know that.
so we are.
Yeah, we're gonna
They
go
also
all.
made it into glue, and that's what he wrapped his hammer with.
Oh, speaking of wrapping things in glue, I want to go to page 347.
Okay.
What a fucking segue.
There's a character.
Let's see if it pays off because it's not going to.
It's not going
this
to.
is Rand's fetish here. It's called Jizzy Trackend. It is the name used by Caroline for men when introducing her to Darlin in book 7. So I think Jizzy Trackend is.
I think it says Jay-Z,
Excuse me.
which is a rapper.
Oh, Jay-Z. now it's different. Still Rand's fetish though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That checks
Min
out.
was also married to Beyonce. I don't know if you knew that.
Who wouldn't be married to Beyonce if they had a kid?
I don't know.
I didn't realize that it was super weird that Caroline used Elaine's last name as an alias for men.
Well, remember she's got distant cousins, but afterwards, considering that they could have taken each other's last name as well.
I can't believe you chose that one. Right underneath it was Jack, who worked for Samuel Hake, and it talks all about how Howell Goad gave them a roofie.
He did?
Yeah.
Something that made them sleep.
His crooked teeth were yellow. Jack and Strom threw people out of the inn if they caused trouble, or Hake wanted to rape them. The innkeeper, Howell Goad, gave Jack, Strom, and Hake something to make them sleep while he tried his pitch on Rand. Interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there. That
Yeah.
suggests our theory was always that Hake was trying to not really just rob, but also may or may not have been
Take advantage of young farm boys. Yeah.
Yeah, it was not. But then, considering that he's been roofied, I guess is fair
The answer
turnabout.
is yes, Beth. It is the Goat is the dark friend in Four Kings.
Yeah. So it's fair turnabout, but really awkward stuff here from Mr. Jordan. And beautiful.
Listen, we coined the term hake rape, and we're gonna die on that sword.
Yeah. Which is fleshy.
We coined that term 11 years ago.
Fuck.
So obviously we're gonna die on that sword. We're never.
Yeah, I mean, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, you might already be dead.
Yeah, I'm
There's a
pretty
good
sure I
chance
am.
Tom did.
Yeah, I died a long time ago.
This is my ghost.
He wanted Rand's sword. See? Yeah, Shizzle knows. Oh, why Shizzle? I think he's one of the people that comments on our channel that's basically thinks exactly how we do.
One of the one. That's a very big insult to Why Shizzle. But that's okay.
Yeah, I guess that is sort of an insult. And Beach. Fall or sit on that sword.
You can always
I
have
mean,
a
it
sword.
depends on what
Oh,
you're
I
doing.
can both.
Tom?
Let's go
Sterling?
to page 348.
One page over.
Jaconda. There's a town in Arafel that's specifically devoted to making the silver bells that they wear in their hair.
Why not?
Maybe there's a silver mine nearby.
I mean, it's a booming business because Arafel's whole thing is the bells in the hair.
Yeah.
That's
What
true.
happens if
You
you take
probably
that?
want to have like your everyday bells and then like your really nice bells for when you go out to dinner and then like bells,
Oh,
really
yeah.
cute ones for your first
Oh.
date. Like, you know, special
Well, if the show does
bells
the
for when you
wardrobe
get
right, that's
married.
absolutely going to be true.
It's the
Yeah.
only place they do it.
Yeah, and like do what you're good at, you know? I support them.
What, I mean, like maybe that's a certain type of silver that's better, and maybe they make it thinner better so it rings better. You got to wonder what it sounds like when someone's banging with that hair going on. Although wouldn't the hair kind of muffle it?
Lingerie bells.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point.
I suppose it depends on how
Yeah, where do you wear
many
the
they have.
bell? Yeah.
I mean, I feel like they have a decent amount, right?
Yeah, but still,
Yeah,
I mean,
I feel like
It's not just like it's one bell at the end of a parade. It's like multiple bells.
That's a
isn't it?
lot.
Yeah.
What if
so
it-
it probably sounds
the-
like wind chimes in a storm when you're banging.
you just hear one clank and that's it. Like,
that actually
oh,
sounds like really nice? That's some nice country banging.
Yeah. So, a romantic cabin with a fire, maybe.
I think we momentarily lost Jess unless her face is frozen.
No, that's just how she looks.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about the idea that Matt spent like 3 books looking for bell founders? What if he went to this town? It's all he could find, and he just had very tiny cannons.
Yeah. It's just a little, like he strikes a fire stick.
Tiny little- I'll tell you what, those guys are probably horrible hunters. They can't sneak up on shit. It's very impractical unless you just spend all the time unweaving it and all that. Jess, what do you think? Oh, well.
Maybe they're
really-
I'm
incredible.
sure she's hopping back in.
Maybe they're the best hunters because they can keep those bells quiet.
She just said, "My internet went out. Be right back."
Did she send you that through email?
No.
Well, that sounds like the internet. She just got tired of it.
So what
Good
else you got, Jono?
It could be on her phone. It's on Discord.
352. Jarek Mondarin.
352.
This is one. It's just
Oh,
A
and
male
right,
I
I
spied
thought
during the
about it.
breaking who went mad and threatened Zora.
his. What'd you say, Tom?
This is like referenced in that one of those flashbacks or stories, but not like as clearly laid out as it is here. Like I don't think we're
Yes.
missing any details from the book that are in here, but at the same time, like just straightforward like this, like it's pretty upsetting.
It's fucking disgusting. It's also like heroic as shit from the Jin Aiel or the Deshine at the time. That they just sat there singing to him while they willingly sacrificed their lives and bodies and the whole town fled, or second biggest city in the world fled. But it's such a tragically fucking beautiful scene. And if you want to have a fucking descriptor of what this looked like what a Chandler Gone Mad looks like, I hope Rafe chooses this fucking dude.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Like
this is one of the heaviest.
That's a crazy story.
Yeah,
it's it shows the Isle as heroes when they were pacifists, and then also during the series of the books, and they're pretty much amazing up until after Rand dies, and then they
one of the best scenes to show the way of belief. Couldn't agree more. Yeah,
it's fucking amazing. But anyway, good luck with that, tWoTcast. Okay, it's not their fault they don't have anyone killing them the whole time. Page 354, Javindra Derail. Which, I mean, Derail sounds, never mind.
Wait, 354?
Yeah, she's the second to top entry.
Okay, yeah. And Aes Sedai of the Red Aja.
Yeah, I don't have anything interesting about her, and there's another Aes Sedai in here later on. But I really would have liked a little more, like content about what the fuck happens when they're turned, because there's references to someone being turned to the shadow, through 13 Mirdraw and 13 Channelers, all the way from what's that, book 2 or 3? We don't really see it, obviously, and thankfully probably until towards the end. But I would like to see that point of view, what the fuck happens, and maybe it does happen, and I just remember book 14 because whoops. But it's it's a weird thing to think that someone has been turned. Is she or he fully controlled by the Dark One or a Mirdraw, or are her thoughts just corrupted? What is the context?
It impresses me every time I read about somebody being turned to the Dark One, and that was one of the most disturbing things that happened in the last book.
That was pretty.
It's dark. A real bummer.
Yeah.
I guess you're dead, but
yeah, kind of. No, I mean, I feel like you're in there.
But what happens though, right? Who's in control of his body?
I don't know. I don't know if you can be brought back or not. I feel like it's you're just there, but you've been so broken down mentally in your soul that you're just, I don't know. You're evil.
Well, if you're in there, is being turned stronger or weaker than compulsion?
It's got to be stronger, right? Otherwise, they would just fucking compel you.
All right.
Way stronger. I feel like it's a permanent thing. You're done. It's over.
Is there at least a 1% chance that Nynaeve saved Rhuarc?
100%.
100%. 100%. No, all right. Well,
there's a 100% chance. She can heal anything. Tom.
Yeah, we're talking about Rhuarc, yes. But as someone who's been turned, no. What I'd like to know is where this versus something like a Grey.
I feel like Nynaeve could figure a way back from that.
Yeah. But how? When you have 13?
If you're turned, your soul is gone.
Ebony said, "I think the thoughts are just corrupted." Maybe
you're a vampire
already, because my thoughts.
You're riding around in the back of your own head. I mean, yeah, because that definitely implies that
that's even worse.
Come back,
so you're aware of what.
You're even but that's the thing. I don't know how aware you are.
That's terrible. You'd go insane pretty quickly.
Well, that's good. Then you don't have to worry about it as much. I think I'd prefer to just go insane and call it a day.
I don't know. That's the most disturbing thing that happens to me in the books. I don't think it's close.
Did you say to me or to be?
I don't know. When they explain compulsion, it's just your brain is wiped and you're just doing whatever. You become a puppet. Just being turned. I don't even think I fully understand it. Maybe.
Maybe you don't understand it yet.
Maybe I will later.
Yeah, there's a good chance.
All right,
that said, the more resolute you were, the harder it was to turn you. I definitely remember that because obviously they took forever to turn Logain. He resisted it for quite some time, I remember Andrel kind of being "There's no way he hasn't." Been turned, or he was losing faith that he had made it this long without being turned because they couldn't find him for so long or whatever.
What else do you have? Do you want one?
I want you to want me to go.
Well, oh wait, I like that song. Go to page 356.
Oh, Jess is back. Yay! Jess is here.
Huzzah!
Hello.
Tomax. A tomahawk.
Hello, boys.
Hello.
Yeah, my internet went out and it's not coming back on because it fucking sucks. So I'm on the hotspot on my phone, which I call FBI van. So
That works.
If Tom plays his cards right, I'll be on his hotspot later.
Where's
That's
my
his-
cards? I don't even
That's
have
his
any.
prospect.
356.
Yes.
It's just Janet Cobb. This is the long entry of a random Ace Sedai I don't remember, but it turns out her family owned the Queen's Blessing and she's related to Basil Gill.
Yeah, only
really?
140 years beforehand. Yeah. Didn't remember that
Bizarre.
either.
that's awesome.
Bizarre entry.
I don't remember that at all either. And the fact that she's like in the middle of the Black Ajah hunt means it's like presumably because that starts happening like after like book 8 through 12. I guess probably goes
Yeah,
on
she's grabbed up as one of the ferrets to, help do whatever, and like has no backstory. And then you read this, and it's just like, what?
Were parts added during the Sanderson stuff?
No, I don't think any of this was in the book.
Oh, all right. Well then, fuck yeah. I don't remember any of it either.
Jordan wrote a lot of back. If you read every Ace Sedai's entry, like
Yeah, there's a
they're
lot of backstory.
extremely detailed for like all of them. At the very least, like the way they look, their height, how long they were accepted, how long they were novice. Like it goes on and on and on. By comparison, I picked out a random Ken entry. I won't even tell you the page number. I just noticed it as we're now getting through the J's. Every Ken, it doesn't really describe how strong they are, their backstory. It just says whether or not they can make a gateway.
Yeah. Well, that was the.
Well, that's the most important part.
I think he was getting to the end of the book, and like those were the only notes he needed for who was going to be like in Camlin and who would be gone and who would be killed.
Yeah.
So, just like can make a gateway, can't make a gateway. Let's remember that.
How big are their business?
Yeah. Not able to hail a cab there. Doesn't matter. Won't be there.
Yeah.
Those
Rough
damn crickets are back. They never go away, Joe.
They're here forever, Joe.
Joe.
Well, until the fall.
Yeah.
You'll be sorry when they're dead.
Quiet.
Will he?
No, probably not. I'm sure everybody
They
will
won't
be
be
happy.
happy.
It's part of the charm of well, it's not.
Of the outdoor podcast.
Yeah.
Part of the
Again,
experience.
All
Yeah,
the
do it
levels
anyway.
of professional-ism. We've got videos. We've got this. Joe couldn't find his headphones. I record from a stack of books. Tom records in the middle of the garden surrounded by crickets. And
All right,
fit in today, although odds are, well, not odds. You definitely just look more professional. You are well lit. You've got colors and all that shit behind you, whereas we don't. But your internet went out. So that's what happens when you're on tWoTcast, is you just fall in half professionally.
Yeah.
if quality,
It's the curse.
if quality was ever part of this show, nobody would even know what to do.
That's all
One
right.
more,
No,
one more, real quick. Page 353. Jason
Okay.
Detail.
Oh, Jason DeSale, one of my favorites.
So Asmodean became a Forsaken because he wanted to make music forever and watch all music forever.
Mhm.
And the very end
Which
of it
is like
just says,
so pure.
except for as a gleeman, he wasn't flashy, didn't flourish his cloak, and didn't seem all that eager to perform, although he was competent when he did.
Competent. He was a competent performer.
So one of the greatest...
You want to know what?
someone
That's
that
fucking
fancied
burnout,
himself.
man. Centuries and millennia
too long.
of having to fucking play shit. Like, you get tired, bro.
Asmodean plays the song.
It's really...
Yeah.
Fine.
Maybe
I don't-
two things.
I
Maybe
don't do
his
this a
Honest to
lot.
God, though, let me just tell you, the struggle is real. I am a vocalist. I have always had a good singing voice. And the number of times that people have wanted me to sing for them, my mother trotting me out and making me sing for people, and I fucking hated it. So, like, for real, I feel him. 100%.
I just think that this review of his abilities as a gleeman is literally the exact reason he became a Forsaken.
Maybe if I have a couple thousand years to practice, I'm just
Like,
saying.
He
I
put on
might
a
get
show
more
and
than
somebody said it
competent.
was competent, and he was just like, I'm going to the dark one.
Gonna kill you. Gonna kill
Just
you.
one bad review sent him over the edge.
I mean,
Let's
that's
go
one
to
of
the bar.
a child genius, but never reached his full potential as an adult.
That's right. It's like a bad
And
child.
personally, I feel called out.
You mean a
It's like,
child genius
one-star
or a child,
review.
a child competent?
Yeah.
He's a child competent.
He was precocious and then just
He never made first chair, and he was always fucking bitter about it.
Luke, should I? Yeah, good job. Yeah, that must suck to be. Have your mom trot you out in front of you. Sing, Jess, sing.
I don't fucking want to. Would you leave me alone? I want to go read a book.
Yeah, I'm busy.
you're never going to make first chair with that attitude.
I don't know what Ebony's screaming at you about, Tom, but it was in the books, and
It
it's
was in the
very
book.
loud. She's using the dark one voice, Tom, so you know it's serious.
I don't care for that.
the books.
He was a child competent.
Let's stay on page 354.
Oh, okay. Wait. What?
I'd like to, of all the Aes Sedai, or the Black Ajah, Jean Cade or Jain Kaide, I don't know how this one's pronounced because there's so many questions in my mind on all of them usually.
Gene Kid.
Yeah, Jean Cade sounds like something out of Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, you can just see them going like this.
Jean Cade. Johnny Cage is like alter ego.
Copyright that. Trademark.
Okay.
This
what
chick is
about
one of the first Black Ajah that we find. She lives for 10 books. I was like of all the Black Ajah that were never hunted down, very impressive. We don't know what happens to her. She's sent off on a task that, quote, caused her to look horrified, and then is gone until the fucking last battle. Very impressive.
No, she was, doing something else. Very busy.
Was she just blowing some lord for like 10 books? Like, where the fuck was she?
Giving off maybe
mean,
dark friend shit.
Maybe Catsuin's hideous, and they were like, Gene, you stay in this hotel until the last battle, and then disguise yourself as Catsuin. Like, gross.
we know where this is going.
Just that now I have 90s techno in my head. Thank you so much.
well, and what
The
I'm
Mortal
seeing
Kombat
here,
Yeah.
in like, we stand an asexual queen because she didn't like men and she didn't like women, but she chose the green. So, like,
So she could dominate.
asexual misandrist.
Yeah.
Because she's
Mhm.
like, I'm going to put these men on a leash where they belong. Blah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's like, woman, like, she hates men so much that it, like, surpasses the Red Aja.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
She
even
becomes a
beyond.
green
She's
out
like,
of
good or
spite.
evil.
Like, she basically became a green out of spite.
Yeah.
And frankly, I respect it.
That way I can bond multiple men.
It's like when you go
And make
so
their lives
political one
fucking
way, you end up on the other.
Is she? Wait, is she the only spike green that we have in the entire series?
Honestly, it
Spike
seems
green
like
slash
Alana
black.
kind of qualifies.
I don't know. She's up there.
You've got your spite greens and your horny greens. And I think that most of them are horny. But, I mean, obviously, you've got at least one spite green.
She's the head of the spike green Aja.
Yeah.
Factionalism
there?
within the organization.
Who's there?
Oh, Jono, give us another one since Tom ran away. Oh, you're drinking.
I'm drinking my Robert Jordan beverage. My Calvados.
Robert Jordan brandy? Okay.
Not the good one, apparently. I need to find that out. Jess, it was as I said last week, which you just missed by a week. Apparently, Alan Romanchuk, one of the editors and our good dear friend, apparently Jordan's favorite drink was Calvados, which is a kind of regional specific brandy. I bought some, but apparently I bought the lesser known cousin of it, which, while still entitled, is not quality quite. So it's not the best drink I've ever had, but I'm more than willing to drink one every time in honor of him, and then I'll just keep refilling it because fuck it.
Fuck it.
Yeah, why not? Jerome, page 354. You guys should remember him. Despite
I do.
He is the greatest blades master in history. He fought over 10,000 times, battle in single combat, defeated once by a farmer with a quarterstaff. Now, on the surface, clearly that means he
He
only
was in
lost-
that episode of Origins.
Coming soon to a Patreon near you. Now, at first I was like, well, obviously the quarterstaff has to be the best fighter, right? We have Jerome loses once, Matt beats these two. But after 10,000 fights, I mean, it could just be random bad luck, too. He could have just been exhausted, and it's just, anything. So
No, it says right here, very fresh for the fight, not tired at all, lost genuinely to a farmer with a quarterstaff.
Yeah, that's the kind of detail that we're talking about in these.
Yeah, it's all right there, Jono.
It's all right.
Just
Jen.
seems maybe
If
we
you
don't
just read
extrapolate
it,
one
Jono.
data.
Coincidentally, farmer, one of Matt's past lives.
Oh shit! I'm all in. I'm back.
Wouldn't it be great if that was one of his memories? When he,
Beating the shit out of that guy, yes.
yeah, like I remember a time beat the shit out of legendary swordsman.
Let's see here. I need Tom back because I've only got one more note personally.
What? There's so much more for Jay.
I know, but there was a whole lot of just like this is a character without any sort of like nuance or sex joke.
Well, what's your?
There's always a sex joke if you work hard and believe in yourself.
Well, I'll tell you what. There's always a
Come on,
masturbation
Donna.
if you do that. Sex joke takes a little more. She wants to be into it. Justice, page 371, the last entry.
Oh, we're going to talk about Hawkwing's sword.
No, I want to talk about Justice. Rand al'Thor's sword. Because honestly, I'd forgotten that was Rand al'Thor's sword at the very end. Because he's already got why the man can't just stop getting power forged blades that are really each one is like the other. I don't fucking know. But he already had Tams, Lemons from the Carrion. This one he could have fucking made his own too.
Or have Perrin make him one.
Yeah, that'd probably be better. It's
He was
unearthed.
kind of like collecting swords, wasn't he?
Yeah.
That's
And
obnoxious.
I want to know
Greedy.
shit.
Who the fuck does he think he is?
I guess the question is,
He's one of those dudes that thinks it's super cool to have like a katana on the wall.
I'm very passionate
Not
about
to offend
Japanese
any of
culture.
our listeners that have katanas on the wall.
I think you're thinking of Turok Dinosaur Hunter from
Turok
Book 2.
Dinosaur Hunter?
He's super into Japanese culture.
Oh yeah.
His kanji tattoo and his samurai sword.
I don't know the Turok Dinosaur Hunter joke, but I wish I did. Because
It's just Turok the Shanshin from The Great Hunt.
Yeah.
but how did he become a dinosaur hunter? That's my question.
Oh, it's an old video
That's an
game
old video
of
game.
the same name.
Okay.
It's an old video game that I don't think was very played. So I mean,
How dare you? The first one was a badass game. The second one was shit.
it's because it was like the only reason everyone remembers that game is because it was one of like 4 games on the Nintendo 64 at the time.
Well, let's go into greater detail about it since Jesse
You
didn't
also
know
start
it.
off
Like, let's
with
really
Trump
dig into it.
I feel like I
bow
summed
and
it up
arrow,
pretty well.
Then you get a fucking combat shotgun, like the next weapon. Like there's like no middle ground. But anyway, so Jess, I'll be sending you a copy of Turok Dinosaur Hunter. Do you have a 64?
I don't.
Well, never mind. Okay.
I'll send you a 64. I've got an extra one.
You probably send her a 64 emulator and a Turok game for like $5.
Why do you have so many Nintendo 64?
Mind your own business. Tom will send you a 64.
I really love to play GoldenEye and Perfect Dark.
Joe
Yeah.
always thought if you got 5 Nintendo 64s, you could make it in Nintendo 69.
Yeah, I was trying. I love the
some-
64.
He was a
I
confused
literally
Boys
have
that I
it. It's
used to
sitting right over
babysit.
there.
Some boys that I used to babysit when I was a teenager had a 64, and we would play GoldenEye, and they would want me to play with them, and I was really bad at first person shooters. I continue to be very bad at first person shooters, and basically playing this game with them involved them like me getting cornered
Like
and not being able
murdered?
to get out, like in a corner, and then they headshot me and I died.
That was Joe's 40th birthday.
Yeah.
last year. Is it last year? 2 years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what we did.
I'm 40.
That's what we did for Joe's. Yeah, whoops. Anyway, we didn't headshot him in the corner.
No.
It's a cum joke. We did.
Yeah, of course.
I thought you were doing another.
Of course, you love
gangbang
GoldenEye.
joke.
Of course, we love GoldenEye.
Yeah.
It's the opening countdown song.
Yeah.
Oh,
true.
I used to play Wolfenstein.
Oh,
That
well,
said that we should play Wolfenstein on a live stream.
I mean, that is great.
The
I
original.
enjoyed
Um,
Wolfenstein.
I'll do that for money.
What is that on? I mean,
We
is
do
it
a lot of
PC?
extra money.
What was
Tom, what do you
Wolfenstein?
got next?
What about Julian Sandar? You guys want to talk about him at all? Do you have any notes?
I love
Uh,
Julian Sandar.
I know, I do too.
Yeah,
You
not
know,
all
like
good.
Pretty straightforward entry,
Oh,
Yeah.
there's nothing really there.
unless you just want to discuss him.
Yeah, let's discuss him. Yeah.
Oh, then yeah. Discussion.
I love that he went
Uses banana boat so much.
wherever the fucking fuck they went, and he got one of those Tyrion hats, and he
Yeah.
wore it all the fucking time. And he fucking committed. He's like, you know what? I don't care what you think. I like this hat. Kiss
He's like,
my
I'm
ass."
gonna buy this hat, and then they're all like, "Nice hat, bro." And he's like, "You know what?
Thank
It is
you.
a nice hat, and I'm gonna wear
It
it
is a hat,
for
and
the
it
rest
makes
of the
me happy.
books.
So
See who likes
suck
the
on
hat."
that.
And I'm never taking it off. And
Best said
Just so you
10
know,
was it 10 Chico?
I
think it was.
I can't take it off. It got stuck to my head. It's a small cup.
It's such a weird shape, and my head is pointy. And
Ain't it like described as like flat or whatever? Like he's taking it on and off like in anger, just kind of like. Yeah, like
the
No,
way
it's
I
comical.
always imagined it was like a Shriner hat.
Yeah, like a Shriner hat, but
Oh.
without the tassel.
That's,
Maybe.
that's what I
Maybe
always
it has a
pictured,
tassel.
too.
I don't know.
Do you ever
Effie
picture?
said he
do you
looks
guys-
like Don Cheadle in my head. I don't know
I
why I
love
love that
that
so much.
so
Cast
much.
Don Cheadle as Julian Sandar, please.
Or we riot.
We have to
Legitimate
make it
question.
happen.
Do you guys ever picture Sandar on like a small bike in a parade? Because I do a lot, and I always imagine he's wearing a white suit.
He probably is. You know
He
what?
would look-
He probably looks great in that white suit. I'm gonna have to say. He needed
You want
a
to know
tiny
what? I can
coat
see
on.
him doing that with his like stick strapped to his back, living his best
Yeah.
fucking life, because that is
Yeah.
a man who just lives authentically.
He uses that stick to hold up on the end of it his bucket where he's asking for change on the side of the road for the
Yeah.
shrine.
Wait, isn't that
Apologies
the
to all our
Swordbreaker is
Shriners,
like a Y,
our Shriners
right?
viewers.
what did you say, Joe?
The Swordbreaker, isn't that like a? Doesn't he have one of those? Or is that?
No,
Am I mixing it up with urine?
He's got the bamboo pole and the sword.
Yeah, no, he's got the
breaker.
bamboo staff
Yeah,
and the Swordbreaker, right?
yeah, he's got both.
Yeah, he's got both.
Although I guess technically, to Joe's point, the sword breaker is probably the best thing to hold the bucket because it's
Yeah,
already
that's
got
what I'm saying. It's better. it's way better.
Yeah, he'd have to like attach a hook to the staff, and it would be a whole
Yeah,
thing.
that's so much work.
And if he's been successful at getting money, guess what? He can lean on the staff while holding it here. So, he's got plans.
His entry is
There are
disturbing
options.
anyway, and I don't like to dig into it that much.
Why is it disturbing?
It really goes into like how into Emethari he was, and she wanted nothing to do with him, and then she was captured by the Shanjan and made a slave, and then he freed her, and she was just like afraid to go anywhere else without him, and it almost just seems like
He really Stockholm syndrome her. But
yeah, it seems really fucked up if you look at it too long. So I don't like to.
That's fair.
Well, that got dark.
Yeah.
You're my wife, captive. I mean, wife.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Oh,
Guess what?
you know how you weren't into it before, but now you're afraid of everything in the entire planet Earth except yeah, all right, it's good.
Here's my notched
It's you and me
penis.
now.
Yeah. You don't want to know what he called it. It wasn't
Why is the
sword-
wait? Why is the penis notch? Is it a pussy breaker? Wouldn't it be the
Yeah,
other way
exactly
around?
what I was going to say. Tom tossed
My
that.
notched penis.
I tossed that up, and Tom was like ready for a pussy breaker. Like,
I just feel like it would be the other way.
I was
around.
thinking like like a shocker penis.
shocker.
Oh God.
You know, just working both sides.
You will find out why they call the poor sector the mall soon enough. But
I mean, They make toys. Of this stuff.
That was the darkest joke. Just on the wall. The mall.
Oh man.
Let's go to page 369 real quick.
69.
Okay, well, I'm already there.
All right.
Who are we talking
look
about?
We're looking at the Jumara, the worms. I always wanted them to become dragons, and of course,
That's
at the
what we
end,
all.
it's-
Yeah, I think
they
everyone.
transformed in some unspecified way.
I think that's the way of saying.
These
Like,
created during the Age of Legends and known as the Worms in the following age. Huge, vicious creatures created by Agnor. They lived in the Blight and they traveled in packs. Interesting. Under certain conditions, they transformed in some unspecified way. What?
So the weird
In
thing
my
is,
mind, that means that RJ got just fucking pissed drunk one night and somebody asked him about Jumara and he just went off on this tangent that didn't make any sense, but he was talking about them like changing, but nobody could get him to like focus up and tell them how
Okay.
they changed.
Too
And
much
so
of that
just-
brandy, I think.
Yeah.
I always
That's
assumed worm was similar to WYRM, as people, as dragons are referred to.
Yeah.
But then
That's
if you go to the
literally
very
a
next,
connection I only just made like a minute ago.
Maybe
are you going to think about that for the rest of the night?
Came on the show.
What if-
I'm going to think about that for the rest of my life, Tom.
What if they're literally
So-
just giant worms, and when they transform in unspecified ways, it could be either a moth or butterfly?
What if they're just, a
Just
giant,
enormous, just enormous.
What if
Holy
what if
shit!
What if and they become a
600 feet tall.
gianter worm?
Yeah.
So the very next entry is also Jumara, and it's the second month of the year. So I was so desperate for this to be true, I looked up the meaning of February on Google. I was like, does February mean dragon? No, but one of the original names for the second month in Old English was something I didn't write down, but it meant the mud month, which I also thought was interesting since they're called worms. And anyway, I'm making connections where there aren't.
Yeah, you are, and I like it.
I like it.
But if you want to talk to your wife into anal, apparently February is the right time.
It's the mud month, Jono.
I didn't care for that. I mean, I got.
I said if. Yeah.
Yeah. I like when there's just four of us because when Jono says something horrible, I'm right behind the word bubble, so I can like laugh quietly. Like, and no one knows.
Tom, as I mentioned earlier, I'm out of notes unless.
Oh, are you?
I
I
am.
can go forever.
Oh, good. Let's go forever.
Mom.
You want to go to page 345?
I do.
It's Jahar Narishma. My note just says underrated. I fucking love this character.
I already said that one.
We did talk about it.
All right. So skipping Narishma then. You want to go to page 349?
Yes,
Do all
I'm
my
already
notes
there.
real quick.
I already said that one before you were. I'm kidding.
Did you do? Wait, what did I write down?
Janduin?
Jameen?
No. A seamstress in Valaluka's show who was admired by
The last sentence is great.
Ulver thought her neck was as graceful as a swan's. She was willowy and hot-eyed.
So
Men sometimes fought over her, and she watched them.
That was it. She watched them.
What's hot
I'm
eyed?
sitting there like, this is so validating to me right now.
Yeah.
I mean, hot-eyed. That's interesting.
Yeah, that sounds like maybe some sort
Lots
of
to
like,
unpack there.
yeah, like I pink eye. You
It's
know,
like
kinda
it's like the snake eye, the crook eye, evil eye.
I just thought it was funny that she watched them. Nobody needs to turn to page 363. I just wrote down Jolly Bag because it made me laugh.
It makes about testicles or a clusterfuck. Yeah.
What was it?
Jolly bag, a Terrabonner
Oh,
term
jolly
used to signify a jumble or mass of confusion, so it's basically a clusterfuck.
Yep.
I
Did
like
we
it.
talk about Jarna Malari?
Jolly
which is
bag
the whole-
in lieu of saying clusterfuck is fantastic. That's one thing that I like. There's not a lot that I like take. Like a lot of people on Twitter at the time are like light, less, blah, blah, like, and I'm just like, who's that? Does anyone actually say that? Jolly bag, I think I would say in real life. That's fantastic. Like a jolly bag.
Jess, what'd you say?
What did I say? I don't remember.
Jarna Malari?
No.
Oh yeah, rapid fire. Jarna Malari,
Oh.
353. We touch on her.
Iris
I don't
there
know.
said hot eyes
She's
equals
not
she has good
informed.
eyeliner game.
That sounds right. The wing
I don't
is
know if-
impeccable.
I don't know, they make it very clear in the
Oh,
book
swoop.
that this Aes Sedai that used a Terran grill that nobody was supposed to and was just like trapped forever screaming was actually the head of the Black Aja, and Ishmael killed her. Was that spelled out?
Yes.
Okay.
So, what I like, one of the things that's really underappreciated is how cool and really dark some of the shit that happens in New Spring is. Like, that's a really dark fucking novel when you look at.
Oh, that's
Well, her death isn't in New Spring; it's alluded to, and then you find out later when you start learning about the, like following from that several books later, like maybe 10 books later, really. All the shit that happens, like when you find from like all the Redajah, and like what all happened then. I forget who it is that cleans up for it. Maybe it's Galena, or what's the
We
white?
get that from Malvira, I think.
What?
Blue Guys Jedi says. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that's there to kind of like show what the fuck happened. Like,
I'm also,
go on.
oh, I'm just starting New Spring again for only the second time ever, and a lot of these entries, they like it starts, and I'm reading it, I'm like, I never read this before, and then I get to the end of the entry, and I'm like, oh, it's from New Spring.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
We even
for a
did
lot
New
of
Spring on the show.
Yeah, but you know, memory, alcohol.
Light.
All right, a couple last ones. Go to 363. I don't think they ever really outlined what Jolene's penance was in the books. It is a lot.
Yeah,
I
Can we
assumed
play that
that
Dolly
it
Parton
was
song?
just listening to people sing Jolene at her for the
Yeah.
rest of her life.
sorry, it was actually
Jolene,
Gaydeen.
Jolene,
Oh, it's Gaydeen. Yeah,
Jolene, but only that line, none of the rest of it.
You think
That was
Tom
the whole
Maryland
thing.
knows like some hand-me-down version of that song?
Yes.
Tom, your sister-in-law thinks your crickets are insane. We've talked
Oh.
about it, Lauren.
Who's that? Never met Lauren Michelle.
Oh,
Oh,
Michelle O'Hara?
I don't know who that is.
Next person. But anyway, yeah, back to Jolene.
Wait, we're still on Jolene.
No, next person. Not. I was just getting tired of your wife, Joe.
Oh yeah, that's already.
Hi,
done.
Lauren.
The one thing that struck me was several hours each day kneeling on a stone floor and praying aloud to be more worthy of being Aes Sedai. Praying to who?
Whom?
Do they pray in these books?
The creator.
Jono is very
Creator, I would
disappointed in your
assume.
grammar right now.
Yeah. James Oliver Rigney.
They have like catechisms and stuff, I guess, but they don't actually pray in these books, do they?
It's a weird thing. Like,
I mean, you sort of pray to the light, I suppose.
yeah,
Or you
life
can.
help me, life bless me, life fuck
Yeah.
me. It is
I
a
wouldn't
weird.
call it light though, or I mean praying though. You know.
It's a weird thing that technically I never thought of it. I was not in a very religious household, to put it mildly, so I never really thought that was a missing element. But like growing up later on, like, there really isn't any sort of like religious. Like the closest thing you have is the Children of the Light. So there's not that kind of like zealotry to have that kind of like friction. But at the same time, like there is the question of like, do you really need to have a question of whether or not there is or is not? Like because there's a magical system, maybe you already assume there is a God, and it must come from him. I don't know.
The creator shelter me. People. I guess people.
But
Is
it's
it
not like,
more like? Is it praying though? Is it more
Yeah,
just like random
yeah.
sayings?
Yeah, those are throwaway lines and like not much.
you're a
else.
throwaway line.
Oh shit!
So's your mom.
Yeah.
Oh
Thank you.
shit!
We can have Jess on
Paul
every.
Rosier says there's no proper version of prayer, and I agree. I think.
Yeah, that's
I think,
exactly.
like even so. Beth said, "May the embrace of the mother welcome you home." Those are just like, I don't know. I mean, those I get it. I understand the connection.
There's not like a
I
nunnery
feel like those
or
are
a
less
priesthood.
prayers and more like.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand what everyone's trying to point out. I just
Don't miss it personally. It's a lot of work. It'd be a lot of fucking work to put a whole goddamn religion in on top of all this.
Yeah,
shit.
there's enough other shit going on. Like, we don't need religion.
Oh, okay, John Lennon.
Why? I think that seemed
Imagine with me, if you will.
that seemed unnecessary.
I'm really happy with that one. Thank you.
It's a
Somebody said
remnant
something
of a
hilarious.
time when religion was organized. From Ebony. Yeah, I agree with that. Sure.
Just very specifically saying that.
Excuse me.
Oh,
Somebody
good job,
pointed out
Jack.
the dragon sworn, like the
Yeah,
followers of
that-
Massima.
yeah.
They do a lot of
Massima. Yeah, I guess they're religious zealots.
Yeah, they are. You know, who doesn't believe in a good old ginger to deliver you onto Christ or whatever?
Yeah.
To deliver you into whatever the fuck.
Yeah. Or just early death. Your call.
Who would believe it? By the way, who would believe in a ginger? A soulless person.
I don't believe in
Please
gingers.
God.
It makes no
I don't believe
sense.
he's reincarnated for a second. He doesn't have a soul right now.
He's never caught it. Tom, next one. Unless you want to stay on Jolene.
No, I think that's podcast for this week,
Jolene.
fellas.
I think the problem with Jolene is that actually I love the song. And secondly, the one problem though is some goddamn hinder strap stuff or hinder staff. Not my favorite part of the books. And that's where she
I thought-
kind of starts matching it.
I thought the problem with Jolene is that she didn't leave any comments or questions below, and in theory will respond to them.
So that's tWoTcast this week?
Yeah, I said that already.
I didn't hear it.
You did.
What?
I know
Like-
that it's not a J word, but can we talk about Hinderstaff for a minute? Because that was
Sure.
just weird. That was fucking weird. It didn't what was the point?
The point was like
It was
Sanderson was like, I think this will be cool. Can I put it in? And they were like,
Yeah.
man, you've asked us. This is the 30th
It's
time.
not only
you've
it was not only weird; it didn't make any sense.
Yeah, I mean the concept I feel like was cool,
Yeah.
but
Was it?
it didn't fit in with the story. It didn't move the plot ahead.
I think it's one of those like Sanderson wanted to try his hand at like a bubble of evil and see what he could come up with, and they were like,
I think we have a.
it's the last battle.
literal-
I guess we should have something in there. We
I
haven't
think
we haven't talked about it since book 4.
a word for word letter from Alan Romachuk that he wrote to Jono about this exact topic. Jono, if you have it handy, you could read it, and then we'll end the show.
I'm gonna read just like from my memory because I don't want to grab my phone because it's 6 feet from me. All right,
Get your phone.
Oh god damn it!
Lazy ass.
Lazy.
That's what they call it.
Jesus. Today's episode is brought to you by the letter J for Jess.
And
Hey.
finishing off with the letter H for Hinder.
we're just gonna a little backtrack.
This letter was addressed to Harriet, by the way, Jess, and we read it in the letter H, but I think it's worth rereading for anyone that hasn't.
God damn it! All right, here we go. When was that episode? That was 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Oh, this is going to take some time. Everybody, bam.
Jono, come on, man.
Jess, what did you have for lunch today?
I don't think I had lunch.
I'm here.
No.
Oh,
Third most
that's
important
a
meal of the day.
I didn't have lunch either.
I frequently forget to eat.
I don't.
Did you
It's not
drink?
good for you. Jess?
I did stay hydrated.
Oh, okay.
Ebony said her actual daughter, Avienda, not the character Avienda, told her that she believes in reincarnation,
Okay.
but not for gingers. That's all we're trying to say.
Yes, not for gingers.
It happens. So this is one that Alan wrote to us to ask Harriet when she was on the show. That sounds like the douchiest. Oh, yeah.
Name
It's
drop
fine.
much?
Yeah. Name drop often. Hinderstep. So the townspeople of this unassuming Mirandian town go mad after sundown and kill each other, only to wake up fine in their beds the next morning. A cycle that repeats itself nightly, a situation caused by a bubble of evil. In A Memory of Light, Matt has the Hinderstapians, which is an amazingly bad term, attack dreadlords etc., at a dam being built on River Moor at Marilor as a trolley crossing, and they are, of course, killed by the more experienced nasties. But they are resurrected the next morning, and Grady brings them back to Gateway to Marilor, bloodthirsty and angry to face their killers in battle again. Said baddies recognize their attackers, lose control of their bowels when they realize they've already killed these villagers, and succumb during the onslaught. But there are a couple problems. One, these villagers are goat farmers, not trained soldiers. They only go into a frenzy at night. They're facing the dark forces in daylight. They would be inconsequential during the day unless someone needed a goat milk smoothie. Two, why would they go after dreadlords and Trollocs in a schizo rage when they're used to savaging one another? Why bother? Please explain.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's just
to
Alan's
me
subtle
like
dig
it's
at
something
Sanderson.
that they have discussed before.
Yeah,
100%.
that's clearly something that he was like, this doesn't make any sense, and Harry was like, just let him have it.
Yeah.
Let him
That's
have
where
this one.
Franzo Sanzo have his bubble of evil.
I think we hated it at the time we read it, right? Like
It
we were
was
just
my
like-
least
I didn't
favorite.
like
I
it.
can't-
I didn't
That was
like
the
I can't-
Gathering Storm, right? That was the
I
Gathering
was-
Storm.
I was frustrated that many pages of the book were devoted to something that I was like, why? Why is this happening?
it. Yeah.
And then the payoff was as soft as, well, never mind. That's
So
twice.
correct me. Am I wrong? That's the
No,
Gathering
no, that's twice for this week. God damn it!
Oh. You told me to read this. All right, that's not the Jays. Oh,
I know, but that was it.
Hold on. That was the Hispanic Jays, which have an H sound. That's why we did it.
Yeah. Ginger Stap is how you say that in English.
No, ginger step is how you mispronounce that in English.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said.
If you have any comments or questions, again, leave them alone, and Theory will get better at responding.
I respond, Tom.
Do you? Wait, you wrote the script. You son of a bitch.
Just because I respond to comments now and at least like or heart them or whatever, it doesn't mean I update our script. Like,
That's a good
dude,
point.
how many things do you want me to do?
If anything, this should be a good prompt to try to get me and Jono to also do it. We'll see about that.
When I'm drunk, I forgot.
You can listen to the audio version of the show wherever you get your
That's
podcasts. tWoTcast theme songs brought to you by the one and only Taffy Benetton and Andrew Bard of Time. Links to their stuff is below, of course. Thank you, Jess, for being here.
Yeah.
Thank you,
for
Jess.
having me.
If you listeners and or viewers, I don't know who you are. Don't know
viewers.
I'm not your
Tar Valon
dad.
After Dark. Go check that out. It's good. It's good stuff.
Yeah, come listen to our podcast. Or don't.
Describe your podcast in one word.
Huh?
Exactly.
Jess, you're going to get the tWoTcast bump from tonight, which is going to be at least 2 extra downloads. So
You never know.
We are very excited about.
The tWoTcast bump is also an STD.
And a very gross dance.
join us
Oh,
next
goodness.
episode for more Wheel of Time. We're covering, and this is going to blow your minds if you don't know the alphabet, the letter K.
Who's gonna be here?
I mean, I know. Do you know? I do know.
I know one person, possibly 2 others.
I know two other
Possibly
people.
2 others. If we
We
have,
might have a very stacked show next week.
if this is the 3 of us and 3 other people, I'm going to go ahead and bow out.
Oh no, you're doing it.
No, but it'll be a madhouse of 6 people.
That's okay. Just mute yourself and just giggle in the background.
But I got a nice week
you.
off.
Oh,
Second
and
night, Jono.
donate to Brian's GoFundMe.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it's been scrolling under us the entire time, but yeah, go donate to Brian's GoFundMe. I mean, even though it's past the limit of 35, or the goal rather of 35,000,
Yeah, I swear
I'm
to
sure
God,
they'll
that-
use every dollar that gets
that
sent their
that
way.
better have bumped up during this show. And if it
Yeah,
hasn't,
it's
bump it
it's-
up now. Everybody bump it up now. I will.
Let me say.
Don't look. If we get it wrong, it looks really bad.
Joe, if it hasn't,
420.
Yeah.
420 blaze it.
well, there we go.
That's time.
Why you guys are donating in 69-cent increments, I don't fucking know, but all right.
Has that been you all night long? Say goodnight, Jono.
Good night, Jono.
Joe.
Keep the change, you filthy animals.
I'm Tom, study your mouth.
Among the first to start, the tWoTcast was so smart to lovingly bash our favorite books. But that was long ago, and now they've grown the show, and now they got us in their hooks. Don't throw coins to these bastards, they need bars of gold at least. Someone please keep them afloat. Now let's listen as they once again ramble through a book. Let's get the fucking quote. One of them is Tom, but he is barely on. Sometimes he calls into the show. Another one is Jono. Is he their joker? Oh no. And Joe, is he the stupid one? Welcome to the tWoTcast. We will share our love for books and all our hate in every episode. We'll entertain you, make you laugh so hard you barely can stand up. That is the tWoTcast goal.